In a remote valley, often shrouded in thick silver mist, lived a young man named Elias. While everyone around him was content with the rhythmic sound of axes cutting wood day after day, Elias spent hours sitting on the edge of the cliffs. He watched the merchant caravans pass through the narrow mountain passes, carrying pungent spices from the east and vibrant rolls of silk that shimmered like liquid gold. Elias's family was trapped in the grip of poverty. His father, Silas, was a blacksmith whose frame was as thin as the iron rods he worked with, and his hands were permanently etched with the scars of burns. His younger sister, Mia, spent her afternoons collecting scrap wood and dry leaves just to keep their leaky, drafty hut warm during the freezing nights. One evening, as the embers in their hearth flickered low, Elias turned to his father and asked, "Why do we break our backs for pennies while those merchants possess the world?" Silas looked at his weary reflection in a bucket of water and replied quietly, "Son, the world is a giant scale that gives nothing for free. What you see as luck is actually the harvest of stormy journeys and sleepless nights that are invisible to the eye. Remember, the price of freedom is sweat, and the price of wealth is an iron courage." Elias realized that their valley held a hidden treasure, a rare wildflower called the azure bloom that clung to the most treacherous vertical cliffs. This flower possessed a fragrance so pure and ethereal that city nobles were willing to pay a fortune for a single petal. However, the risk was so high that no villager dared to challenge the mountain. Lacking even a single coin for climbing gear, Elias sought out an old hunter named Cale, a man known for his icy heart and a refusal to help anyone for free. Elias made a bold proposal. "Lend me your ropes and your wisdom. I will scale the peaks, and in return, I will give you 70% of every coin I earn for the first month." Cale sneered, his eyes scanning Elias's calloused hands. "If you fall, my rope is lost in the abyss. Why should I gamble on a boy who has never stepped foot outside this mist?" Elias met the old man's gaze with unwavering intensity. "Because you recognize the fire in my eyes. You were once a daredevil who gambled on himself, and you know that a man with nothing to lose will work 10 times harder than a man with a full belly." Moved by a ghost of his younger self, Cale handed him a worn, frayed rope. "You have 7 days. If you return without flowers or money, I will take the only thing you have left, your honor." The days that followed were a grueling ordeal of pain and perseverance. Elias's fingers bled as they gripped sharp limestone, and his muscles screamed in protest every time he hung suspended over the yawning abyss. Fear often whispered in his ear, urging him to climb down, but the image of his father's burned hands and Mia's hopeful smile acted as his anchor. He successfully harvested the first batch of azure blooms and embarked on a 2-day trek to the capital city. Instead of competing with common vendors in the noisy market, he approached the most prestigious tea houses and perfumeries, inviting the owners to experience the raw, intoxicating scent of the mountains. It was an immediate sensation. Elias returned to the valley not just with a bag of gold, but with a ledger full of exclusive orders. A year passed, and Elias evolved. He realized that manual labor has a ceiling, but vision does not. He began hiring the restless young men of the village, training them in safety and logistics, and established the region's first specialized supply team for rare botanical treasures. Just as his business reached its peak, disaster struck in the form of a massive, thundering landslide. It blocked the only trade route out of the valley and crushed Elias's specialized storage facility. His entire inventory, thousands of delicate flowers, was reduced to a heap of withered, bruised petals. As his panicked employees quit to find stable work elsewhere, Elias sat alone amidst the ruins. In a moment of quiet desperation, he began to crush the ruined petals between two stones. He discovered a miracle. When the flowers withered and were crushed, they released a concentrated essential oil with a scent far more potent and long-lasting than the fresh plant. He pivoted instantly. He stopped selling fragile flowers and began producing high-end essential oils and scented waxes. These products were easier to transport, had a longer shelf life, and were 10 times more valuable than the raw material. He had turned a catastrophe into a revolution. 2 decades later, the mist-shrouded valley had become a bustling hub of industry, and Elias was a renowned entrepreneur, owning a global empire of fragrance boutiques known as Azure Heritage. On the day he inaugurated a brand new academy for the valley's children, Elias stood before the crowd. He didn't speak of his mansions or his wealth. Instead, he held up his hands, still showing the faint scars from his first climb. "My dear students," he began, his voice echoing against the mountains, "understand that there is no such thing as a free lunch in this life. Even the very air you breathe requires your lungs to perform the work of drawing it in. To transform your dreams into reality, you must be willing to pay the price of persistence when you are rejected, the price of courage when you fail, and the price of humility when you succeed. Do not wait for a miracle to knock on your door. Climb the cliff and harvest your own destiny.